All right, guys, we'll move on. I'll hide these text layers and I'll open up this clock tower. Okay, this clock tower, see, it's little bit tilted. Let's check the transformation. Yeah, anchor point, rotation. Yes, rotation should be 0. Yeah, now it looks fine. See, when I click on the text, a new text layer created, just delete it. So this is the clock that we have here, and let's try importing another image that I have as a dial and bring and keep it here. This is like Photoshop. Okay, you can bring and keep it here. Okay, so here there are shapes. Okay, here also you have the pen tool and the mask feather tool and so on. So just for time being, what we'll do is we'll just take a pen tool, because this is the basic class. You start off with pen tool, you will get to practice with the pen, isn't it? So do some practice with the pen, and we'll see how it works. Along the edges, just try to draw. Okay, so I have taken a clock. Go to the mask and look at the feather. You can make some feathering, and just in case you want to work out on the expansion, you can work. Okay, just try a simple thing. Place this, reduce the opacity. Okay, now you can see the background, isn't it? So place this, take and place this to this size. Sorry, yeah, just elapse the boundaries. Mask is different, this boundary is different, isn't it? So you have to pick up the boundaries. Okay, now increase the opacity of this. We have reduced the opacity, isn't it, for the dial? So is this the dial? Okay, mask opacity. Okay, so you can keep something like this, adjust the position to hide what was there earlier. Now in simple hands you can try to draw like a rectangle. No, if you draw the rectangle like this, what happens is it again becomes a mask. Okay, it becomes a rectangle mask, so I delete it. So in this case, what you have to do is, here there are some options for you to create a new solid, okay, or a new shape layer or a new adjustment layer. Say for example, if I click on the new shape layer, see here, this is a shape layer. So if I draw a shape, now this shape I bring it on top. Okay, this is the new shape layer. You can see here the properties. Okay, this can be filled with any color that you would like to. I'll zoom, I'll reduce this to the hand size. Say this is the big hand in the clock. Okay, and you need to identify the center point, isn't it? For this, sorry, undo, Control Z. So this is the center point. Drag and keep it here. Okay, and check if this size is okay. This should be in the center as well, isn't it? So you can go to the dial, okay, and in this dial you reduce the opacity to see whether it is in the center. It should be in the center here, right? So you can select the shape layer and put it in the center. Now adjust the size to whatever size that you want. Then go to the anchor point, bring the anchor point here. Now again come to the dial, make this to 100%. Okay, now you can see, now we are in the dial. Forget about the dial's center, your shape center is here. Okay, now I go to the first frame. This is one full circle, isn't it? Say for me 12, this is going to be 1 hour, isn't it? So completely from 12 to 12 is one full rotation for the big hand. Okay, so one full rotation for the big hand means 1 hour you're crossing, isn't it? So what I'll do is I'll go to the shape layer, transform, rotation, set the keyframe, say come to 12 seconds and come here for the rotation. Let it rotate fully and you can make this as 90 degrees. So what will happen? You see when I play, the clock rotates. Okay, so when this rotates for one full circle, my small hand should move from here to here, isn't it? So what do I have to do? In this shape layer, you already have a rectangle called rectangle 1, isn't it? This this rectangle 1 is where we are working on. Okay, so you can try another, say for example, a small hand for the clock. When I draw this, this becomes rectangle 2. This rectangle 2, again, I'll have to place it properly. And again, I'll have to go to the anchor point and move this anchor point to the center. Then open this up. Okay, here for the rectangle. This is the rectangle, so transform. In this transform, I'll come back here, then you can easily see. Now the time is 3 o'clock. This both has to touch each other, isn't it? Okay, move this here. Yeah, now the time is 3 o'clock. According to this clock, now the time is 3 o'clock. This you can adjust a little later. Okay, it's 3 o'clock, and when this completes one rotation, time should become 4 o'clock, isn't it? So I will together this is rotating, but that's because this is grouped. Rectangle 2's rotation. Probably what we'll do is, okay, this is rectangle 2. Yeah, I'll delete this rectangle 2. I'll go back. Let's create a new shape. New shape layer. So for our understanding, we'll say small hand. For our understanding, we'll say big hand. So for small hand, you have to draw a small hand, isn't it? We'll draw a small hand. Yes. We have got a small hand here. We'll make it a little thicker. Okay, this is the small hand. You can see here the properties of the small hand that you wanted. You can see the stroke here, the stroke points. I'll make it 0 because when I make this stroke, I get these white lines. So I'll make it 0. Okay, so this small hand can be little bit bigger, this much, for this size. And this anchor point again you can keep it here. So let's start from here. Now this is the small hand rectangle 1 and the transformation for the rectangle 1 and rotation in 0th frame. Okay, so in 12 seconds my this thing rotates and comes to the top. So this has to go to 4. Okay, so I'll just change it like this. The accuracy you can calculate later. Now it starts rotating. Okay, so this is how the clock is rotating. This place, if you want to have more accuracy, you can sit and then align the center point properly. Or another way to cheat and do this is create a new shape layer, and you can rename this as cheat circle. Just press hold, take the ellipse, draw an ellipse here. Just leave it like that. Okay, so you can see how the clock is functioning here with all these layers in place. Alright, you can try this clock as well and then show one full circle. You can start from different time, don't copy the same time. You can do it from different time. So students, now one is practice the basics, and then for the text use your name and register number, and for the clock complete 1 hour cycle at least. Okay, then you can share your outputs in the group. Remaining we'll see later. There are so many other settings and stuff that you need to learn, and for the introduction class I feel this is more than enough, and you need to practice a lot, so I'm giving time for you to practice. Catch you in the next class. See you. Bye bye.